आप सभी का स्वागत है समाचार और करंट अफेयर्स के एक नए चैनल द ग्लोबल टीवी में, जिसमें समाचारों को लाखों स्रोतों, दैनिक रिपोर्टों और ऐतिहासिक तथ्यों से इकट्ठा कर आपके सामने पेश किया जाता है। इसमें राजनीतिक, कूटनीतिक, सामाजिक, विदेश मामले और विज्ञान सहित कई अन्य मुद्दों पर बात की जाती है, जिसे दुनिया के कई देशों में देखा जाता है। इस कार्यक्रम का प्रस्तुत करता हूं आपका अपना मैं, प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर रत्नेश द्विवेदी। मैंने बीबीसी, जी न्यूज, EIM न्यूज वायर, टक मैगजीन, वर्ल्ड न्यूज टुमारो कॉर्पोरेशन, रशियन इंटरनेशनल अफेयर्स काउंसिल, कार्नेगी काउंसिल, मॉडर्न डिप्लोमेसी और ऐसी कई सारी प्रतिष्ठित समाचार एजेंसियों और संस्थानों से ट्रेनिंग ली है। मेरा शोध प्रबंध मीडिया और आतंकवाद, BBC और CNN द्वारा 9/11 और 26/11 की कवरेज और उनसे हुई मूलभूत गलतियों पर आधारित है। 3 मानद डॉक्टरेट के अलावा मैंने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय जर्नल और कॉन्फ्रेंसेस के लिए तकरीबन 43 शोध पत्र लिखे और प्रस्तुत किए हैं। इसके अलावा 500 से ज्यादा लेख और 25 किताबें लिखी हैं। प्रोफेसर द्विवेदी यानी मैं रूसी सरकार के थिंक टैंक रशियन इंटरनेशनल अफेयर्स काउंसिल, टक मैगजीन, वर्ल्ड न्यूज टुमारो कॉर्पोरेशन, इपो टाइम्स और मॉडर्न डिप्लोमेसी के लिए विदेशी मामलों पर लिखते हैं। पिछले 25 सालों में मैंने 2.5 से 3 लाख चिट्ठियां विश्व के शीर्षस्थ नेतृत्व को लिखी हैं। इसके अलावा दुनिया की कई सारी रिसर्च संस्थाओं में मैं कई सारे नोबेल विजेताओं के साथ शामिल हूँ। ये तो हुई बौद्धिक बातें, लेकिन इस समाचार चैनल का उद्देश्य है कि इन्हीं विषयों पर नवीनतम जानकारी और ऐतिहासिक, सामाजिक, वैज्ञानिक तथ्यों को आपके सामने सरल भाषा में पेश करना। तो लीजिए, हाजिर है आपके सामने आपका अपना समाचार चैनल द ग्लोबल टीवी। Welcome to the Global TV, your own channel. You are liking it, you are subscribing it. It's going fantastic. Today, on this very special day, we have with us Mr. K Yadav, a former research and analysis rank officer who have served for the nation, for the country on multiple assignments. He has kept India's bastion high always. Welcome to the show, sir. And to let our
Thank you.
And to let our viewers know, he has come up a very eye-opening book, which is called Mission Raw. This program will be bilingual in Hindi and English both. Sir, सबसे पहले, first of all, I would like our viewers who are new and who are scattered globally, please tell a brief about you, if you like to reveal.
About me or about my book?
First, tell 2-3 lines about you, sir. How I mean, when we talk to an intelligence officer, even if he's retired, there are a lot of, kind of very different kind of emotions. People want to know about the person. They are very, curious to know how is the life of an intelligence officer who has served for such a great nation for such a long period. They want to know about the person and its personality. So tell a brief about yourself if you want to say something.
Yeah. Since I have written a book on this intelligence agency, so nothing is secret now. I have written about my joining in this organization as a young man at the age of 23. And it was a very fascinating journey in this department. It is a very sort of informative, and you can make you educated in various fields. It is a very interesting department, different from all other agencies of the government of India. We do a lot of research and analysis. You can understand the name, research and analysis wing.
Right.
Research is done and analysis is done, and then a filtered report is sent to the government for its consumption. And we play a very significant role in the foreign policy of the government, besides the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which are doing their job, and we are doing our job. Because we provide most of the inside information of the relevant countries where our government required some hidden facts, and which only our people who are keeping a close eyes on all the activities of our neighbor countries and all other important countries. So this department is eyes and ears of the government of India, and it is a very important and you can say significant department of the government.
You see, my listeners and viewers, as Mr. Yadav said, any external agency, any external intelligence agency of any country is first line of defense. Whether it is the Central Intelligence Agency, MI6, DFAT, or former KGB, or any kind of any external intelligence agency of any country. And for my viewers, whatever little knowledge I have about research and analysis wing, this is one of the best agency in the world. And as Mr. Yadav said, it's eyes and ears of India government. Sir, coming to your book, you have come up with an upgraded version. What exactly your book actually points out, what kind of revelations it has, and how it can be useful for your own agency where you work, and for public in general, and also for the government?
Actually, there were many, you can say, problems when I started writing on this book. There were many pressures, and there were very many apprehensions also. There will be some legal action or criminal actions against me, because I have written in depth about the working of this department, but it is necessary in the sense, because on America's CIA and MI6, there are different books written about their working and their operations all over the world. In order to compare this agency with those intelligence agencies of USA, UK, Mossad, etc., Japan, Australia, etc., I thought it proper that I should also bring in the public domain the achievements of Indian intelligence since independence of this country, which I have done in this book. Since 1947, when India was liberated from British rule, and there were problem of Kashmir and other issues, which intelligence officers how saved and how bring in the, you can say, control of a government of India. This is very significant, particularly Kashmir issue, which Intelligence Bureau initially handled, and later on we also played a very significant role in its merger, annexation, and still there are a lot of problems which we are handling there. So I have tried to bring just all the three wars where our intelligence agencies played a very vital role in 1962 or 65, and liberation of Bangladesh in 1971. Particularly, liberation of Bangladesh was the, you can say, hallmark of research and analysis wing only, and how our officers planned and got liberated this territory of East Pakistan, and a new country was, you can say, brought on the map of world, which is known as Bangladesh. This is our creation. Army only went there to got surrender 93,000 Pakistani soldiers. Initial working, initial damage, initial, you can say, preparation, initial inside turbulence was all done by our officers, and ultimately, when there was no option left, Pakistan got its soldier from East Pakistan, and it was liberated as a new country, Bangladesh. This is the biggest achievement of any intelligence agency in the world. Even after Second World War, no such big territory has ever been liberated by any intelligence agencies, which RAW has done.
Right, sir. As rightly you said that first line of defense is any intelligence agency, and not such a big task as when we compare it, liberation or formation of a new country in 1971 has been achieved after post Second World War II by any other intelligence agency. Sir, I request you, and if you think it's permissible, can you brief about one or two cases where Indian external intelligence officers have achieved? I'm talking about case studies. If you want to name them, or if you do not want to reveal them, that's fine. I can understand there are certain foundations. You might not want to reveal them, but at least you can brief one or two cases where our intelligence officers, including you, have achieved something which has set India on a global map.
You see, Mr. R.N. Kao was founder of R&AW.
Right.
He has played a very significant and vital role in liberation of Bangladesh and merger of Sikkim. Sikkim was an independent country, and it was merged into India. 2,500 square miles of area was liberated by 3 officers, and that too without a drop of blood was, you can say, thrown on anywhere, and it was a bloodless coup, I should say.
Right.
Which our officers managed there, and this territory of a country merged with India, and this was another significant achievement, which has no parallel in this world.
Right, sir. Right, sir. I also have read somewhere that R.N. Kao, the founder of Research and Analysis Wing, though we have competition with our arch rival China, but he is also known for saving life of that time Chinese Premier by stopping him not to board a particular plane. I don't know if it is correct. You might be knowing it better, but I have read it somewhere.
That is correct to the sense. In Bandung Conference in 1955, non-alignment countries were meeting there, and Chau-en-Lai was to travel by a plane, and this plane was Kashmir Princess. It was Air India plane, and in this plane, this Taiwanese, they planted a device, and this plane was sabotaged in Indonesian water. At the 11th hour, Chau-en-Lai changed this plane because he had some medical problem. And this whole incident was at that time investigated by Mr. R.N. Cow, and he was a very junior officer. And he, along with the American counterparts and British counterparts, played a significant role in resolving this controversy. And he went to China also, and he briefed Chau-en-Lai in this regard. And Chau-en-Lai was satisfied that Indian intelligence has no role in the sabotage, and it was the handiwork of the Taiwanese. This was the biggest achievement of Mr. R.N. Cow at that time on the international arena. And that controversy was diffused. And Jawaharlal Nehru, who was then Prime Minister of India, he congratulated Mr. Cow and the IB chief, Mr. B.N. Malik, at that time. So that was the initial achievement of our intelligence at the international level, which was appreciated at all levels in the world.
Right, sir. Sir, you know, you have worked inside the agency for a long time, and you better know what kind of logistic. What I mean to say, you know, we live in a high-tech world where most of the agencies are using many kind of cyber security equipment. We don't know, we haven't read it, but whatever little knowledge I have about high-tech world, I know that you will advocate human because you have worked in that atmosphere. Human intelligence is very important for any intelligence agency. But given the fact that now we are living in high-tech world, what do you think how India government can upgrade this Nobel agency up to the level of Central Intelligence Agency, Mossad, MI6, all those agencies which are known for their superiority as far as high-tech equipment, high technology is concerned? Because human intelligence, I will again say, is one thing, but technological advancement, what do you think about that?
Still, I feel human intelligence is the most vital angle to gather any secret information or intelligence from anywhere. Still, it is very vital. But in the change scenario of this cyber security, our intelligence agency is not lagging behind in comparison to the CIA or other countries. We are, I should say, little better than them. Our officers are very intelligent, and they are keeping all these things in, you can say, close, you can say, monitoring or surveillance or interception. They are managing it very well. And you cannot forget, you should forget how Musharraf's room was bugged in China when he was sitting there. So these are all, you can say, achievements of this agency, and we are, if not better, but we are equivalent to the all other agencies of the world in this cyber security, you can say, manipulations or interceptions or surveillance or everything. We are the best in the world.
Sir, I think, given the whatever little knowledge I have, with your experience, our intelligence officers, India's intelligence officers may learn a lot from you, given your vast experience in mind. Sir, Indian intelligence is currently kind of facing a two-edged weapon. From one side, we have Pakistan. On another side, we have threat of China. how you will suggest how our agencies can tackle both the threats at one go?
You see, China is recently there was some skirmish, you can say, fighting among their soldiers and our soldiers, and it was very properly managed, you can say. After that, they are not daring to come near to our border or in northeast or Leh, etc., because our NSA, Mr. Dawal, played a very significant role, and he managed all the affairs. And now Chinese too are finding some escape route that they should not indulge into any other such activities in the future. Otherwise, our forces were very readily, you can say, prepared to teach them lessons, and we are fully prepared. And China know it very well, because China is surrounded by many enemies around its territory. It's starting from Japan, South Korea, and in the Chinese Sea, everywhere. Americans are cooperating with all these countries which are targeted by China in one way or the other. And India too is playing a very significant role. And you see, in the Indian Ocean, they tried to enter, but it was thwarted in the Bay of Bengal, and they changed the routes of their navy. And but some problems were coming from Sri Lanka when this Rajpaksa you sat in the lap of China, and they started so many activities which were detrimental to the Indian interest. And then when our officers there interfered there and a single officer managed all the things, and Rajpaksa got defeated in the elections. And after that, he changed his voice, and now he's not anti-Indian, at least, and he will never be in the future. So you're saying about Pakistan also. Pakistan is totally managed by our agencies, be it in Balochistan, Afghanistan, or in, you can say, other areas also. They will never dare to indulge in any activities which will, you can say, spark some fighting or some terrorism of that sort. You see, after 2015, there is not a single terrorist activity like that was like 26/11 in this country. For the last 7 years. Leave aside Kashmir. Kashmir is a different thing. In Kashmir, they will continue, and they are continuing because the terrain of the area is so difficult that we are unable to, you can say, keep a controlled tab on all these activities. Otherwise, in the rest of the country, there is not a single incident of terrorism or bomb blasts which were taking place 7 years back. After Mr. Dawal became NSA, it is a proper tab has been taken on the Pakistan terrorist activities, and Pakistan knows very well that if they will indulge in such activities, India has all counter, you can say, weapons in their arsenal to check it and to manage it. And we, for the last 7 years, there is not any big terrorist activities inside the country. Leave aside Kashmir territory.
Right.
So, in the last 7 years, our NSA and a team of raw officers, Mr. Rajner Khanna was raw chief. He managed all that anti-terrorism. He was an expert of anti-terrorism, and he managed Northeast also very well. And now they are in the Northeast, this terrorism is subsidizing, and some area in Myanmar is still continuing, but that will be managed very soon. I am hopeful about that.
Right. So one thing which intelligence, Indian intelligence agencies is rather related with foreign policy. You see, Russia is having a very good relation with China. As far as India is concerned, it has to balance between USA and Russia. Both are, I mean, while in last 15, 20 years, India has, strengthened this relation with USA. It cannot displease Russia. How will intelligence, foreign policy, and defense will manage Russia and USA both at one go?
You see, we are getting S-400 missiles just now from Russia.
Yes.
Despite we are having excellent relations with the USA, and that relation were, you can say, developed to counter Chinese expansionism in this region. And for that, USA and India, or along with Japan and Australia, they are the 4 major countries who are to manage China and Chinese seas and in Bay of Bengal and in this Indian Ocean everywhere. So for that reason, India has to keep best relation with USA, but not at the cost of USSR. Putin came here just now, and although it was a very short visit, but the purpose was solved. Yes. I meant to say. Still, we are having a very defense pact with in many affairs with Russia, and Russia is a very trusted friend of India, which everyone knows, and even our diplomats maintain that link. And we should not forget in 1971 war how Russia helped India when USS sent the 7th Fleet in the Bay of Bengal. And at that time, there was a threat of nuclear war in this region. But when Russian ships entered in this region, Americans retrieved their 7th Fleet, and the major, you can say, conflict was averted here. So Russia is a trusted friend of India. And although we are to manage USA also, in view of the other, you can say, liabilities in this region, where we are to counter China. So India has its own place, be it USA or be it USSR, Russia, sorry, because they know India is a very big power in this region, and they are to manage many things individually with India, in which Russia is maintaining its best relation. At the same time, they are not objecting to each other. So why we are having good relation with USA, and USA is not, you can say, compelling India not to have any relation with Russia. So India has its own policy, and India is managing both the powers very well, and in which in the last 7 years, I should say, Mr. Doval played a very vital role in these things.
Right, sir. Sir, one final question. If you like, you can take it, or if you don't like, you can deny it. I have heard, this is the sources of different newspapers which I read, that during the Congress time, Ahmed Patel had appointed some rogue agents if I don't know if I'm using right word or wrong word, but would you like to speak something about this issue?
That is correct. I should say.
Okay, sir.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. But in this book, one thing I want to reveal,
Yes, sir.
because the book is now in the public domain. The major thing which I have mentioned in this book is that RNDW has sent a proposal to the government in 2015 when this NDA government came to power, and then a proposal was sent to eliminate all the leading terrorists of Pakistan.
Yes.
That file was sent to the Prime Minister office, but no action was taken, and till date that file is somewhere there. This is the thing which I have revealed in the book. There are many compulsions also, because at that time Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji went to Kabul, and while coming to India, he landed at Lahore, and he has a very good relation with Nawaz Sharif at that time. So that may be the reason that this plan was, you can say, abandoned. I should not say it is dropped; it is abandoned. So this is a new revelation which I have done in this book.
Oh, I see. Very important point. Such a learned and experienced intelligence officer is raising that a particular file is pending before maybe it's PMO or Raj Chief, where it is pending, where the deadlock is, to eliminate the terrorists which are using Pakistani soil, supported by Pakistani military and inter-services intelligence, to eliminate them, but that file is still stuck somewhere. That's very crucial, very important point for the protection of our country, for protection of even our officers who are working in such a tough terrain every minute. When I am talking to Mr. Yadav, thousands and thousands of our intelligence officers are working in given situation, which are definitely not as we all are sitting in our drawing rooms and having a cup of tea or enjoying pakoras in the chilling winters. They are working in tough terrain, away from their houses. So this very important point, I request, if our Honorable Prime Minister is listening, that file, where it is, at least he should have a conclusive remark on that, if it is possible. I can only request to Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, thank you very much, sir, for joining me. I think in past 25 years, I have never done such an exclusive interview with such a learned approach towards our first line of defense. Thank you from bottom of my heart.
I'll request you to read this book, and you will get so many other information also.
I will definitely, sir.
Three wars of the country.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Later on one another occasion, I asked this very senior ex-RA officer a question which might be many people wanting to know, that what atrocities Pakistan had played, what atrocities Pakistan had done in Bangladesh in 1971, and what role actually Research and Analysis Wing had played in the liberation and creation of Bangladesh, to which he replied.
को पूरी ऑट्रोसिटीज करने के लिए इस पाकिस्तान में खुला हाथ दिया, और उन्होंने जो अत्याचार किए वो एक हिस्ट्री में सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वार के बाद उससे दर्दनाक घटनाएं कहीं भी देखने को नहीं मिलेगी, जिसमें लाखों निर्दोष महिलाओं का बलात्कार किया गया और इनोसेंट बच्चे जो कि यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ रहे थे, ढाका वगैरह में, चटगांव वगैरह में, उन पे तो हॉस्टल्स के अंदर ही गोलियों से उड़ा दिया गया। जब ये चल रहा था तब हमारे रॉ के गुरिल्ला जो थे वो पाकिस्तान में एंटर हुए और उनकी हालत, पाकिस्तान आर्मी की ये हालत हो गई कि 3 दिसंबर 71 को जो लड़ाई शुरू हुई तो 2 हफ्ते के अंदर 16 दिसंबर 1971 को पाकिस्तान की 95,000 आर्मी ने भारत के सामने सरेंडर किया और जनरल नियाजी ने जनरल जगजीत सिंह अरोड़ा के सामने 16 दिसंबर को ढाका में हथियार डाल दिए और उस दिन बांग्लादेश नाम का नया देश हमारे पड़ोस में लिबरेट हुआ। इसमें भारत के आर्मी के अलावा जो रॉ की भूमिका रही वो बहुत ही अहम रही और दुनिया के इतिहास में किसी भी इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी का इतना बड़ा रोल नहीं रहा, चाहे वो CIA है, चाहे मोसाद है, चाहे KGB है, कि जिसने एक इतने बड़े एरिया को लिबरेट कराया हो और लिबरेट कराने के बाद उसमें एक डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट इंस्टॉल की हो। इसमें भारत की प्रधानमंत्री इंदिरा गांधी जी के डायरेक्शन पे जो आर.एन. काओ की भूमिका रही वो एक यादगार भूमिका है और ऐसा दुनिया के इतिहास में कहीं नहीं हुआ कि